Welcome to Wawasan Wire today. We're talking about the recent funding announcement for the RXZ Motorbike Festival and, well, the strong reactions it has sparked across Malaysia.
That's right. It's quite the story.
Yeah, this isn't just about, a motorbike gathering. It feels bigger. It's about a significant financial commitment from the Prime Minister's office.
And what that signals, right? About governance, about public feeling right now.
Exactly.
So today, we'll unpack the official narrative, why they say they funded it, but also dive into that huge wave of public opinion, which tells a very different story sometimes.
Okay.
And ultimately what this whole thing reveals about, well, the political climate and maybe even societal values here in Malaysia today.
Sounds good. So let's start with the event itself. This was the RXZ Members 7.0 Motorbike Festival.
Held recently in Kuala Nerus, Terengganu.
And it was massive, wasn't it? Reports say over 100,000 motorbike enthusiasts turned up.
Huge numbers. And not just local riders. People came from Sabah, Sarawak too. Truly a national gathering.
So a big event. And then came the funding announcement from the Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim.
Yes, substantial support. We're talking RM300,000 in total.
And the breakdown is interesting. RM100,000 directly from the PM's office, and another RM200,000 secured through his efforts from corporate sponsors.
Correct. Through his personal efforts, drawing in corporate and business sector support. That's the official line. And, that detail itself, the PM's personal efforts, some might see that as resourceful, others might, well, raise an eyebrow about the process.
That's a fair point. Now, the official reason given for this was quite specific.
It was. The Prime Minister's senior political secretary was clear. He stated the funding is not out of political motives.
Okay.
But instead, it reflects the government's stance to encourage youth innovation, support positive energy activities. That was the key phrase.
Positive energy activities.
Exactly. They praised the event for, bringing together so many people, showcasing youth discipline and passion.
Discipline and passion.
And also highlighted it as an important platform to connect various ethnic groups. So the government's framing is very much about investment in youth, unity, positive community building.
Okay, so that's the official picture, fostering youth engagement, community spirit. But the reaction online almost immediately. It wasn't quite buying that, was it?
Not entirely, no. That's where it gets really interesting. The moment the news dropped, online discussion just exploded.
A firestorm, basically.
Pretty much. And it revealed a completely different interpretation for many people. Lots of questions about government priorities.
What were the main threads you saw in those discussions?
Well, they generally fell into two main camps, though they often overlapped. First, there's this real frustration about the economy.
Cost of living.
Exactly. People are talking about rising prices, tax increases, subsidy cuts, things really hitting ordinary families hard.
Yeah, you hear that everywhere.
And then they see this RM300,000 going to an event that, let's be honest, has a bit of a controversial image for some.
So it felt like a contradiction, like we have no money for subsidies, but money for this.
That's precisely the sentiment for many. It felt, jarring. Tone deaf, perhaps, to some.
Okay, that's the economic angle.
Yeah.
What was the other major concern?
Public safety. And this one is serious. Many people immediately brought up the negative associations with some RXZ gatherings.
Right, things like illegal racing.
Illegal racing, yes. Modified exhausts causing huge noise pollution. People tampering with license plates to avoid getting caught.
The Superman stunts, maybe?
That too. Night racing, disturbing residents, endangering other road users. And tragically, there's mention that multiple fatal accidents are linked to RXZ convoys.
Wow. So real safety fears, not just minor annoyances.
Definitely. For many people living in areas affected, it's a genuine quality of life and safety issue.
We saw some really direct comments reflecting this, didn't we? Things like,
subsidies reduced, but money is used like this.
And the one you mentioned, instead of catching supermen, they're funding them. That's quite blunt.
Very. Others question the framing directly. Is this encouraging dangerous and illegal culture? Or asking, why associate with racing culture when claiming to uphold moral and peace values?
And just simply, what kind of culture is this exactly? It shows a real disconnect.
Explicitly. Countless comments linked the funding directly to electioneering, saying things like, everything for votes, stop at nothing.
Hell.
Or just a way to fish for votes. Those who got sweet deals will definitely vote for him, suggesting a kind of quid pro quo.
And even more pointedly, comments like, for votes, already no bottom line. That implies a sort of desperation or cynicism.
Because a very strong sentiment. The perception for many is that this wasn't primarily about youth development, but about shoring up support from a very large, visible, and potentially influential demographic.
It really puts the government in a tricky spot, doesn't it? Trying to connect with different groups.
It's a classic political balancing act, absolutely.
Mm.
In any democracy, leaders want and need to engage with diverse segments of the population. That's normal.
Right.
But when the activities of a particular group, even a passionate one, overlap significantly with public nuisance or worse, safety risks, then providing that kind of high-profile support, well, it risks looking like you're compromising principles for votes.
Trading public order for popularity, maybe.
That's how critics would frame it. And what's fascinating here is that tension. The official statement insists it's not political, it's about youth and positivity. Yet a huge chunk of the public immediately interprets it through the lens of political strategy, maybe even political expediency, especially during tough economic times. Managing that perception is incredibly difficult.
So stepping back, what are the wider implications here for Malaysia? This feels like more than just one event, one funding decision.
I think it is. It touches on fundamental questions about government spending, accountability, and that crucial social contract between the state and the people.
How so? You mentioned trust earlier.
Yes, public trust is key. When the government talks about financial constraints, tightening belts, cutting subsidies that people rely on, and then allocates or facilitates significant funding for an event seen by many as frivolous or even problematic, it can really erode that trust.
People feel their priorities aren't reflected.
Precisely. You see it in comments like, says no money, yet sponsors these things, and simply, our tax money is being wasted. This perception of misused funds, especially when contrasted with personal economic struggles, can create real resentment and cynicism towards the government. It makes people question the fairness of the system.
And it also forces a debate about what we even mean by culture or positive energy, right?
Absolutely. The official statement uses these broad, positive terms. But clearly the government's definition doesn't align with a large part of the public's view, especially when the culture involves noisy exhaust at 2 a.m. or dangerous road behavior.
So it raises questions about whose definition counts and whether the government is truly in touch with mainstream concerns.
It does. Is the government reflecting or shaping culture here? And is this the kind of culture the broader society wants promoted, especially with public or publicly facilitated funds?
It leaves us with a lot to think about. That balance between supporting large community gatherings, which can have value.
They can.
And addressing very real public concerns about safety, noise, and how money is being spent, especially taxpayer money or funds solicited by the government.
It's a complex equation. Is it a genuine investment in engaging a sometimes marginalized youth group? Or is it a calculated political move that perhaps overlooks the broader social costs and public sentiment?
So what do you think? How should a government navigate this? Where does the balance lie between supporting specific communities and upholding general public order and fiscal responsibility?
It's a tough question, and probably one without an easy answer. It really highlights the intricate dynamics of policy, public perception, and political strategy constantly at play.
Indeed. A fascinating, if controversial, snapshot of current Malaysian dynamics.
Definitely gives us plenty to consider about priorities and messaging.
Thank you for joining us on Wallace and Wire today. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.